Hey everyone, welcome to The Explainer. Today we're unpacking something truly profound, the One Mind, Linming Shang's Guide to True Awakening. We're going to be diving deep into the incredibly detailed and complete interpretations of teacher Linming Shang. He takes one of the absolute biggest, most fundamentally abstract concepts in all of spiritual history, the One Mind, and he anchors it right down into our everyday reality. Because let's face it, usually we're left with these lofty ancient texts that feel, well, kind of impossible to actually apply. But teacher Lin, he totally deconstructs these philosophies step by step. He gives us this comprehensive, complete framework for true awakening, showing us exactly how these formless ideas collide with the very real, very messy conditions of our daily lives.
Okay, let's dive into this. The Huangbo Zen master famously laid down this foundational thesis. All Buddhas and all sentient beings are only one mind, there is no other Dharma. I mean, it sounds beautiful, right? It's got this incredible sense of unity to it. But let's be real for a second. It's also entirely abstract. What does one mind actually mean for us when we're, commuting to work, dealing with stress, or just navigating our complicated relationships? How can a profoundly enlightened Buddha and an ordinary struggling person possibly share the exact same mind? Well, this is exactly where teacher Linming Shang's meticulous, detailed teachings step in to save the day. He basically acts as our bridge, decoding this ancient idea to show us that, hey, this isn't just nice poetry, it's a literal description of our fundamental reality.
So, to really grasp teacher Lin's complete interpretation, we've got to establish the baseline definition straight from the source. The One Mind has been around since beginningless time. It's never born, it never perishes, it has zero physical form, and it is literally boundless, like empty space. It completely transcends all limits and all duality. But, and here's the trick, teacher Lin emphasizes this heavily, the text explicitly warns that the second you stir up a thought to try and capture it, you've already gone astray. Our analytical brain is, by its very nature, a tool for measuring and categorizing things. You just can't use a finite measuring tool to grasp something that is fundamentally measureless. It's completely unfathomable to human logic, which is why trying to logic your way into it is always going to be a dead end. So, what do we do? How do we grasp the unfathomable if our brains aren't quite built for the job? Well, teacher Linming Shang hits us with his first revelation, and it cuts right through all the mystery with absolute clarity. Your own mind is the Buddha. Just think about that directly for a second. You, yes you, watching this right now, with all your daily anxieties, your hopes, your flaws, you yourself are the Buddha. Teacher Lin brilliantly strips away that massive distance we always seem to put between ourselves and the divine. He's saying, look, awakening isn't about going out and acquiring some new superpower or hiking up a distant, snowy mountain. It's simply about recognizing the profound divine nature that's already sitting right there at the core of your own consciousness.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how elegantly teacher Lin maps out the actual mechanics of our daily struggles to explain exactly why we don't walk around feeling like Buddhas. He breaks down what happens when our formless mind collides with the conditions of the real world. Naturally, stuff happens, right? We feel joy, anger, sorrow, depression. And discerning those feelings is totally normal. But the real suffering kicks in when we start grasping at those conditions. We cling to the joy, we violently fight the anger, and those reactions curdle into these diluted thoughts and deeply ingrained karmic tendencies. We get stuck on this exhausting hamster wheel of reaction. But teacher Lin completely reframes this whole shebang. The way out is realizing that all these phenomena are just manifestations of your own mind. They're basically just temporary weather patterns passing through the vast sky of your consciousness. When we stop our endless discrimination, when we stop clinging to the sunny days and fighting the thunderstorms, we achieve what he calls the patience of non-arising.
Let's just pause for a second and really absorb teacher Lin's exact words here. If you realize that all phenomena are manifestations of your own mind, your mind enters the patience of non-arising. Through his detailed interpretation, teacher Lin reveals that this patience of non-arising isn't about becoming an emotional zombie or just being passively apathetic. Absolutely not. It's a state of profound, unshakable clarity. The absolutely crucial takeaway here is that you do not need to fight the world to find peace, and you don't need to suppress or run away from your emotions. You just have to rest in your inherent nature. You observe the phenomena, but you don't let them consume you. Recognizing this fundamental truth is literally the ultimate key to stopping that painful cycle of karmic tendencies.
So, building off that psychological foundation, we transition right into teacher Lin's second revelation, which really expands his complete theological framework. We're moving from understanding the true mind to understanding the true Buddha, and this concept known as the land of eternal silent light. Now,
Teacher Lin explains comprehensively that the true Buddha doesn't and actually can't manifest a physical form. His logic is airtight. Anything with a shape is subject to creation and destruction. So if it has a physical shape, by definition, it's not the true Buddha. The true Buddha is entirely formless, existing as the true mind itself. Because of that, the land of eternal silent light, it isn't some physical VIP destination you travel to after you pass away. It is the ultimate frequency of the universe. It's a state of perfect stillness and radiant awareness that exists everywhere, all the time, right underneath the illusion of physical matter.
And this profound theology doesn't just stay in the clouds. Teacher Lin builds it into a highly practical, actionable roadmap. It's a precise cause and effect application for our daily lives. Step 1 is super straightforward. You recite the Buddha's name with every thought. But Teacher Lin's detailed rationale for Step 2 is what makes this a real game changer. This recitation isn't just mindless parrot talk. It actually acts like a tuning fork. It instantly connects and resonates your consciousness with that exact frequency of the land of eternal silent light. Then, moving to Step 3, because your mind is now aligned with this ultimate truth, the true Buddha, which, remember, is your own awakened true mind, protects you. It grants you deep peace right here, right now, in the middle of this chaotic life. Finally, Step 4. At the moment of passing, this established resonance guarantees your consciousness will seamlessly transition reborn right into the Pure Land. It is a stunningly direct path.
But to really, truly internalize this intricate framework, we need to step into a vividly beautiful story from the source text. I want you to meet Ming. He's a young, completely exhausted woodcutter. And Ming is just overwhelmed by the crushing suffering of the world around him. He mourns for the wild deer getting wounded in the forest. He grieves for the hungry crying kids in his poor village. And his heart is absolutely shattered by the loss of his own mother, who died way too soon. Sitting by a freezing stream one evening, weary, broken, and just desperate for some kind of meaning, he looks up and asks the universe a deeply painful question. Where is the Buddha? Why do the Buddhas remain high above in perfect peace, while we sentient beings are just left to drift and sink in this relentless sea of suffering?
Then, right out of the shadows, steps the formless elder. He's this old Zen master, carrying nothing but a flickering oil lamp. He sits down gently beside Ming and pulls a smooth, ancient mirror out of his sleeve. First, he holds it up and makes Ming look at his own face, this weary, tear-streaked, wrinkled reflection of a suffering mortal bound by time. But then, the elder slowly tilts the mirror downward, toward the rushing stream, and suddenly, boom, the entire boundless universe appears inside the glass. We're talking brilliant golden palaces, countless Buddhas teaching calmly on lotus thrones, joyous village kids playing, even massive whales leaping in distant oceans. They all appear simultaneously in brilliant clarity, and they all dissolve simultaneously. In one cinematic, breathtaking flash, Ming's fundamental illusion of separation is completely shattered.
And this brilliantly illustrates teacher Lin Mingxiang's core teaching, totally bridging that massive gap between human agony and divine peace. The elder explains that sentient beings, us, we're exactly like water that has simply forgotten it's a mirror. We get so incredibly caught up in the chaotic, ever-changing reflections, the quick flashes of joy, the really sharp stings of pain, the faces of those we love and lose, that we entirely forget our true, unchanging nature right beneath it all. The Buddha, on the other hand, that's simply the light that never leaves the mirror. The true mind isn't some distant savior sitting way off on a cloud somewhere, ignoring our pain. No, it's the very reflective surface of our consciousness. It is exactly where we already are.
So, what did Ming do next? How did he apply Teacher Lin's precise instructions to his actual, grueling reality? Well, his transformation was absolute, yet completely ordinary. His daily chores? They just stopped being burdens. Chopping wood wasn't a harsh task anymore. It literally became the mindful act of dusting the mirror of his own consciousness. Hiking down the mountain to sell that wood meant he was bringing the radiant light of the one mind right down into the busy world. When he looked at the stream, he didn't just see plain water. He felt the small, darting fish as his own swimming mind. When he looked at his own calloused, rough hands, he felt the true mind gently embracing the physical world. By continuously reciting the Buddha's name, his mind rested safely and perpetually in the Pure Land, right there amid the dust, the sweat, and the noise of everyday life.
Fast forward a bit, and Aming actually grew into a deeply revered, renowned elder himself. Seekers would travel from far and wide, climbing up that mountain just to ask him the profound secret to his spiritual practice. And you know what? He wouldn't hand them complex academic treatises. He'd just simply point a weathered finger right at his own heart and deliver this incredibly powerful line: "You are the Buddha, you have simply forgotten. Now remember." This story perfectly beautifully encapsulates teacher Lin Mingsheng's complete interpretation. He proves that all this, it isn't just high-level, inaccessible philosophy. It is a meticulously detailed, lived reality that is fully available to every single one of us, right at this very second.
Which brings us to the end of our explainer today. We've journeyed all the way from ancient abstract texts to the deeply practical, transformative, and incredibly detailed frameworks of teacher Lin Mingsheng. So, I want to leave you with one provocative, lingering question to carry with you as you go about the rest of your day. Have you remembered your own true mind today? Actually take a real moment to reflect on that as you step back into your daily routine. Because remember, the light has never left your mirror. Thank you so much for hanging out with me to unpack this incredible teaching, and hey, keep seeking that inherent Buddha nature within yourself. Catch you next time.